while I was studying, I got placed in a public relations startup company in Bangalore, and since then I have been in Bangalore. So I've been for here for more than a decade in Bangalore now. So I'm a public relations expert, and I have specialized in corporate PR. As my specialization, I have started my journey with the startup company, which is now no more a startup, called the 6 Degrees Communications. I think it's now known as the Corn and Wolf 6 Degrees PR. Then moved on to another company called Gutenberg PR, which is again a Delhi-based startup company, PR startup company. And then I moved on to my last company, which was McAfee. So during my PR journey, specialized in corporate PR, worked for companies like Nokia, Honeywell, Intel, Juniper Networks, IBM, EMC Square. I worked on a lot of, I had the opportunity to work on two best projects of my life, which was Guns N' Roses when they were visiting Bangalore. So I had an amazing time with them, and another metal band called Korn. So I had an amazing time with them. When I moved on to Gutenberg Public Relations, my expertise got a little diverted towards startup PR. So I assisted a lot of public relations and marketing communications suggestions for startup PR like Payoneer. I did it for ITPR as well for Red Hat. I did it for a few other companies, Digit Insurance, which is now a unicorn, one of the best unicorns of India. It's an online digital portal. And during the course of one of the most integral part of PR is technical writing. I started finding the love in writing and understanding technology. So I developed my skill and my niche into technical writing. And in McAfee, when I joined McAfee, I joined them as their India manager, India lead for leading their technical writing and communications for their customer and corporate products. So whenever a product goes live into deployment, the backend answers and the article that goes live, I used to write them along with my team in India, in UK, and in US. So that's been my journey so far. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That sounds absolutely amazing. And I love that your projects were, Guns N' Roses and Corn. I mean, that blew my mind for sure. I love it. Okay. So, Akriti, ma'am, why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey?
So, well, I think you've already got a brief that we were from the 2007-10 batch, and I think we were the naughtiest among the batches. You'll get to know from the faculty. But yeah, I think
Yes, ma'am.
for us, we were among the rock solid people from NSHM, because we saw NSHM growing and NSHM helped us grow. So it was like a mutual thing, and we kept growing together. So yeah, I think talking about my journey, I passed out NSHM in 2010, and I decided to get a little bit of work ex before I could pursue my further studies. So I worked with a company called Bineta Entertainment in Delhi after passing out from NSHM. And then 2011, I joined Symbiosis, and I did my MBA from SIMC Pune. So yeah, I'm a proud alumnus of NSHM and SIMC Pune. Post that, I worked with Accenture in Gurgaon. I was into management consulting, and I got a chance to basically be a part of two very big corporate houses and two very big clients, namely Coke and Unilever. So back in Accenture, basically what I was doing is mostly strategy. So that was quite an experience. In fact, that gave me a very, very detailed insight about the Indian market overall, the consumers in India, kind of doing a lot of sales strategies, marketing strategies for Unilever. It was very, very interesting. And my corporate journey was not very long. So I worked with them for 3 years, and then I decided I can't work under anyone. I think I was just not cut out for a job, and I wanted to pursue my entrepreneurship skills. So I said, okay, let's take a chance. Left everything, came back to Calcutta, not knowing what has to be done. So I had no clue that, what am I going to do? I just came back. And I think all my friends, including Sudha being here, said, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You can't just leave your career like that and just go back to Calcutta. What are you even going to do?" And I was like, "We'll figure it out. Don't worry." So yeah, I think after thinking about it for a couple of months, I decided to get into event management. Started with very small scale events. I started freelancing, and then 2017, I set up my own company, and by God's grace, it's been doing well. I'm into full-fledged event management services, including wedding planning, production, hospitality services, and I've done a few very good destination weddings as well. So yeah, that's quite been my journey in brief.
Ma'am, I love your bravery. That is absolutely amazing to hear. And I have quite a few questions for you, ma'am, because you are essentially your own boss. So I'm sure many students out there will also give me questions. And on that note, guys, whoever's watching this, if you have any questions for our guests, please feel free to use the chat box. And there's this question answer box, you can see on your screen. Go shoot your questions, write them down, and we will definitely answer them for you. So, sir, now could you please tell us about your journey, your background, and your story so far?
Absolutely. Firstly, I would like to thank you all. It's really an honor to be back. It's so nostalgic seeing Sudha and Akriti. And Akriti, I must tell you, I'm a big stalker. I see all your posts and I love your work. Okay, and
Thank you.
great. You guys are doing absolutely great. I remember my journey with NSHM very vividly. Okay, if you ask Akriti and if you ask Sudha, I was never known as a BBA student. I was
Never.
always known as a BIMS student because I was the one hanging out in their class, sitting with them. I
All
don't
the
know even if I've attended few lectures along with them because most of my friends were there in the BIMS and we had a ball, these 3 years, not just clubbing and partying, attending so many events and so many, intercollege events and hanging out from Spring Fest to Xavier's, that stuff. So there are a lot. If I go on, it's going to be on, and I think the session will be, will not be enough. So, giving you a small brief, after I finished my, BBA undergrad from NSHM, I decided to pursue my master's. So I went to Manipal University. I was looking for a course where I could pursue my passion as well as continue my legacy of management. My Everybody from my paternal side is into engineering. Most of them are into marine engineering or in the merchant navy segment. And I was the one who was born rebellious. I want to do something different, or something which has never been pursued in my family. So I had no idea. Okay, and thanks to my skills, I am horrendous in mathematics and science. Sorry for that. I'm not disgracing anyone. But I knew that my friends did tell me that I have a very good selling and a marketing ability, and I should pursue my passion and my career in the same genre. Hence, my management journey started. And I was really inclined towards the glamour world. So I did an MBA in media and entertainment from Manipal, where 1 year you pursue from Manipal, and the second year you do it from Whistling Woods International, which is the Subhash Guys College in Mumbai. I passed out. It was a hell of a journey. I loved every day, every minute spent in the college. And after that, I joined Bollywood, and I did not had a godfather, so obviously there was a lot of struggle. So I can proudly say that I started from scratch. But since the time I joined Bollywood, I knew there is going to be a shift. There was, because mobile has started. People were using mobiles, and we were all there. And that time, Orkut was the one which was in, and once I think believe Akriti would be knowing. I and Akriti was the one who represented NSHM and India in the United States of America. Okay, we were the camp counselors, and we went to. I went to Manhattan, and after we
Yes,
two went to
ma'am was talking about this. I do have quite a few questions about Camp America
In
as well.
fact, all
Please
three of
proceed.
us did go for the same program from the
Yes.
college.
Uh,
And
in
yeah,
fact, I've heard that you were one of the very few first students to be invited.
yeah, in
absolutely,
fact,
Isn't
we were in fact among the first few students to be invited from India.
from India, exactly.
that's
Okay,
amazing?
so So that was great journey, and then social media started, and I had decided that whatever I do, it has to be in the digital arena. So after a struggle of 4 5 years in the Bollywood arena, I wanted to shift towards the OTT segment, and we all know the famous quote called binge watching, and I wanted to get into digital. And since then, I'm a digital and now working as an associate director with an IPG media brand, which is a 365 million organization spread across the globe, and I am taking care of the eastern region. And so yeah, that's my journey. I'm quite happy, and I envy people like Akriti who could be an entrepreneur. I tried, I burnt my hand badly, and I did not have the audacity
It's not
to
been
do
me,
that there.
but yeah, it was a risk to take.
No, absolutely. Kudos to you and Sudha, the one who's. And I think everybody who has passed out from NHM, especially our batch, and I've seen them settle in a very, very, senior position, in a very respectable position. Everybody who I'm in touch with, and it's great. It's great. It's so nostalgic. It's so great to see everybody doing so really well. Over to you
And
guys.
also,
Thank you
sir,
so much.
yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And so, not just that, but you guys are essentially the flag bearers. Because like you said, NSHM was growing and you were growing along with it. You basically helped each other grow. So, to know that everyone's at such a good place right now, that is really inspiring to us students right now. So, thank you so much, sir and ma'am. Thank you. So, sir, ma'am, I was wondering if you could tell me about your reasons for choosing NSHM as your alma mater. What inspired you really to join this college in the first place?
So I think if you talk
So,
about media, I
mhm,
think when in 2007 we did not have many options for media at all. So the only
mhm,
college which had media in Calcutta was Xavier's, and I think NSHM came out with a program, and I think there was just one more college which was not even known. So media was a very very new subject. It was a subject which the world didn't even know about. People used to be doing the traditional BBA, BComs, and arts and things like that. Media was a subject which was basically, again, we were all risk takers. We didn't even know that what is it all about,
absolutely.
because we had not
Hands down.
we didn't know what the syllabus would be like. We didn't know what our future was going to be like.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, it was something which we wanted to learn, we were passionate about. I mean, and in fact, people from the media batch, every one of us were totally like on the ground. Our lectures were so different, they were so interactive. They were not like the typical theory, and we didn't have proper textbooks that time. So it was like on the ground all the time, trying to find out matter, what to study, how to study. So it was very very challenging. So yeah, I think for us it was NSHM was the best we could find. And I think that was something, I say it was the best decision that we made, because NSHM actually was a bridge for us between what we were and what we wanted to be. You know, NSHM
Mhm,
actually helped us transform and understand basically where we wanted to be 10 years down the line. So yeah,
mhm.
I think that was one of the best decisions we took in our lives.
Right. So it basically prepared you, from the very beginning to be risk takers and just to face whatever is thrown your way head on.
It did.
So that's beautiful to hear. So, sir, what is your take on that? What is your reason for choosing NSHM in the first place?
Okay, so obviously, as Akriti said about BMI, sorry, the
Yes.
the media courses in Calcutta, there was a few BBA courses. I was very sure that I wanted to do BBA, but I did not want to go for any traditional college. Okay, so I have gone through my counselings to name a few reputed college like St Xavier's and James and everything. When I came to NSHM, I know I had to carry my mom along with me. My mom wanted to see the college, and when I came and I did the counseling,
How
so the
sweet.
first impact which I got from NSHM, that it's not the conventional or traditional media. Okay,
Yeah.
there is more than the traditional learning and the bookish knowledge that you're going to gain. It's more about experience. It's more about interaction. It's more about two-way communication. And hence, as you said, hands down, Saujanya ma'am proved that. And from semester 1 to semester 6, it was the most um, I would say the experience which we have taken, and we still implement those experience when I talk about marketing, when I talk about finance, or when I talk about
Agree.
even a basic organizational structure, organizational skills which we have learned in the BBA, in my course during my BBA. I still implement that in my in my career. So hands down, obviously, as I said, guide anybody who is looking for any kind of course. Okay, do not go by just the brand. And obviously now I'm so proud that NSHM is the brand, and I can proudly say that I am from NSHM. But while coming in, I was very sure I did not want to join any college which just give me a degree and all the books and syllabuses here. You have come here, take classes, and come and prepare for exams. We did not do that.
Yeah.
We were more of I remember there was a section
Absolutely. I
called
can
career, which we attended, and Sojina man led that career pushing, and that the impact that it has created, it's still there with us. So obviously, I am really grateful and I'm thankful for NSHM for giving us this opportunity. And that 3 years of experience was hands down the best experience of my life till now.
absolutely, sir, and I can definitely agree on that. That NSHM prepares a student. It is a all-around development. It's not just based on academics, which is very strong, no doubt, but also in terms of extracurriculars. They push us to our limits, and they basically just force us to come out of our shells. So, ma'am, could you please, Sudha, ma'am, tell me a little bit about the things that you liked best about your days at NSHM and your course, really.
So that we can't.
Ma'am, you're on mute. Uh,
Sorry, I was on
yeah,
mute. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
that's fine.
Typical habit when you're working, you'll be on mute. Okay. So, Aisha, you asked for few things that you liked about the course or a few things that you liked about NSHM.
Mhm.
Few things are an understatement to put when you are at NSHM. Few things are a real understatement to put at NSHM. Be it course, be it the professors, be it the college overall, be it the environment, everything. It's absolutely an understatement. I'll just take you a little back journey as to why I find like Akriti and Vikash said that why NSHM has paved our careers, what we are today, and how it has prepared us. We have heard the fact that you need to prepare yourself 5 years down the lane or 10 years down the lane. While it sounds good in terms of a statement, it's very difficult to work on it, and it's a totally different thing to walk on that path. And people who support you, uh, play a big role. And for in our case, especially me and Akriti, I know Akriti, while Vikash is from the management, me and Akriti were classmates. We know very well because when we came to NSHM as students, while we came as media students, we wanted to do media and marketing, but it's such a big world. Media is just an umbrella. There are so many things. We just didn't know what we wanted to do. So that's
Mhm.
how we know. And we know the support that NSHM gave us, the kind of different subjects that NSHM concentrated on with the expertise professors and, the guidance from their own experience kind of, paved our way. Be it entrepreneurship, which is again a part of marketing, be it PR, be it journalism, it kind of paved the way the course was designed from communications to computers to so many theory. My God, it's clearly defined as to what you can take. And by the end of third year, we knew where I wanted to go, and that's why I think what made easy, or at least we were very clear in our thoughts of what post graduation we wanted to do. That's
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
of what how NSHML
Yeah,
helped
in
us.
fact, when I remember back then we used to be cribbing because our attendance used to be so strict, and unlike other colleges where people could go and chill and bunk classes and just go and watch movies. So we used to crib back then. But then when you actually move ahead in life and go for your masters and things like that, that's when you really realize that NSHM has basically given you that experience already, because the world ahead is going to be really tough. Like
Yeah.
for me,
Absolutely.
especially when I went to Symbiosis, it was people used to be cribbing because it was a different ball game altogether. Symbi used to be like crazy schedules. We used to have lectures like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning also. So, and I think when I went to Symbi, it was quite a cakewalk for me because I had already done a lot of the things which I was doing in Symbi. I had already got a hands-on experience over a lot of things. I think we were among the
Mhm.
very few colleges wherein internship was compulsory. We all had to intern, back
Mhm.
then.
Mhm.
So I think all those things made us really, you know, uh, made us so strong and made us ready for the world, I would say. So yeah, I think it just
Absolutely.
I completely agree. If I have decided today, if I am an expert or if I'm pursuing into public relations into an industry, I came to know that a world like public relation existed at NSHM. Advertisement is one, journalism is one, movies is one, production is one. Public relation is a very niche part that comes into under the umbrella of marketing,
I
and
think
that's where
NSHM.
I learned it at NSHM, and hence I gave it a go for my future studies in it. If I have to take back a small step, I just wanted to tell everybody how I came to know about NSHM. It's
Mhm.
extremely weird. Okay, it's extremely weird. So coming from an arts and commerce background, that's it. That's my life. I knew about it. 12th was psychology, economics, English, Hindi. That's all it was. What I wanted to do, engineering, hate. I'm not made for science and maths. And God can only help me in future if I don't know. Science and maths, hated it. Can't do anything that involves books or studies or, which required mug up. Then I figured out something called marketing, did a lot of research of what marketing is, what media is, and all those things.
Mhm.
And I think before the time slot, the colleges started applying. I think it's around June, July when the season of college admission begins or used to begin.
Mhm.
I don't know what it's now. We went for a small
No, it's
vacation.
similar.
Yeah, it's similar, right? Okay, so
Mhm.
me and my family went for a small vacation, and we are on our way back. And I think we stopped in Calcutta, and I did a research about NSHM. It was absolutely brand new college, coming from a mentality of like where Ackrity and Vikash said that from a Symbiosis or a Xavier's or a Dayanand Sagar or an Indraprasth college, which is known for their name. Everything was about name. Here NSHM was at its absolute start. It's just hatching out of it. So we took the brochure. I took the brochure. I was doing a study because in 10 days NSHM's entrance exam was there, and I sit in the train from Calcutta back to my home.
Mhm.
Luckily, there was this another family sitting next to me who I didn't know was my school's classmate family, whose daughter was
Okay.
studying in NSHM Durgapur.
Oh wow. I mean, the world is small.
NSHM Durgapur. Because she saw the brochure in my hand, she's the curious cat in her kind of, she asked, "What are you doing with an NSHM brochure?" I said, "This is what I'm planning to do. I'm just doing the research because admissions are going to start." She said, "Hands
Mhm.
down, eyes closed, go for it." I said, "What's make you say that?" My daughter, and I still didn't know the daughter's name or which school is she from. All I knew was she was in Jamshedpur. That's all. She was from Jamshedpur. My daughter is doing BMS from the Durgapur branch. That's all. I said, "Who's your daughter?" Her name is Sojanya. I said, "Fair enough."
Okay.
Sojanya, yeah, her name was also Sojanya at that time.
Okay.
It kind of rang a bell. I said, "Is this Sojanya?" I said, "Yes." "Who are you?" "I'm Sudha." We turned out to be good friends of school, and I met her mom. She said, "Hands down, eyes closed. Please join it." Because the kind of the way, and she was a science student, mind you, she was a biology science student. She's
Wow.
on bookworm doing a media course in Durgapur. So
Oh
what
wow. I
is
mean,
going
that
on?
blows my
I said,
mind.
Sarjan, yes.
I think
So
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
mean, definitely the opportunities that we got back then, I think the best of the colleges didn't give. Like again, coming back to the Camp America program, I remember all the
Yes.
teachers going out of the way, all the professors going out of the way to help us out and, to prepare us for our interviews. We had multiple round of interviews,
Mhm.
on video, face to face. A lot of things had to be done. So I remember every professor was there to help us. I know everybody said, guys, you need to do this. You guys need to be make us proud. So yeah, I mean, I think that opportunity when it came to us, we were among the very few students from India who went for this program, and it was a proud feeling, for the college, for us, for our parents. End of the day, the opportunity came to us because of our professors, because of the college we came from.
That is true.
Right,
No doubt.
absolutely. Ma'am, sir, could you please, because we are on this topic, sir, let's begin with you. Sir, could you please tell us a little bit in details about this whole Camp America program that I keep hearing from ma'am too? I mean, this sounds absolutely amazing, and like I already mentioned, you were one of the first students to ever get invited. So, could you please shed some light on that?
So I remember there was a counseling that was going on. My first interaction was with this Saujanya, and the ma'am, she just said, Vikash, I don't want you to give a second thought, and you should be taking it. And trust me, till then I have not even boarded a flight in my life ever. Okay, that was
Wow.
my that was my situation. And I said, and you tell me to go cross seven seas and go across to the United States, and I was petrified. Because all my family members, as I told you, they were for merchant navy and engineering. They were all failing. Okay,
Right,
and I was no, this. I don't think this is right for me. But so then I'm still in touch with the counselor with then now he's now based out of London. He's Mr. Javed. Okay,
Javed, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Javed Akhtar, yes.
yeah, I met him and I met him and I gave my interview, and when I gave my interview and I was that it, I'm like, I said the question which he asked me and the answers which I gave, I'm like, done. I am not going anywhere. I'm here participating in some stuff. That is the max I can. Nowhere I'm going to go to. Okay.
I
And
can
when I came
relate
back,
to that situation, sir.
when I came back, and my dad was fortunately in the United States then, and I called him and said, "This is the interview." My dad is like, "You're hopeless, hopeless case. I don't think you are going anywhere." Okay. And then there was second round of interviews, as Ackrity said, third round, and it's more than Camp America. The stress that we had, okay, of representing our college, representing our nation
Yeah.
to United States.
Exactly.
That was on our shoulder. Okay. And Akriti, as rightly said, every step was taken care by our professors. And for me, and that time, I was not that online savvy, and I am really, I don't know how do I say that I'm an associate director in the digital arena, where digital was never my forte. I used to ask somebody, right, Facebook on kar do mere liye, okay, and there was a lot, tons and tons of documentation that we had to upload online and fix
Uh,
them. And there was a lot of things, okay. And Saujanya ma'am and every faculty who was involved in it, in the process
Mhm.
has really helped us. And when I landed there, and the entire journey was impeccable, okay. And and I must tell you, and I'm sure Akriti and Sudha would also agree with me, the
Mhm.
the way people have accepted us in the international land, um, because
Mhm.
when we go there, the culture we took it, and the knowledge sharing and everything, it's not just, as I always say, always emphasize on, it's not your marks, it's your attitude, it's your attitude, it's your overall curriculum that you carry, okay. And that, hands down, as Sudha said, we were getting that preparation from the first semester, from the moment we landed on NSHM. So all the curriculum, all the organizational skill, the behavior, human centric, how. So these were all things, everything that we were taking along with us. The entire process from interview and landing back to India. Obviously
yes.
that is one thing which I still mention in my CV, a camp counselor in the United States of
Yes.
America.
Same
And
here, yeah.
and by the way, it was always, as much as I know, we Indians were the smartest of the lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
Seriously, I mean that. So, ma'am, you're telling me that that
That's
stereotype is true. That
Yeah,
Indians are the
is,
smartest ones.
trust me. So even we didn't know that before going there, and obviously, 18-year-olds typically
Yes.
first time traveling across the country, and
Yes.
that to all the way to US, and we were all scared, and we all had that fear inside us. Though our professors, parents, everyone was there to kind of pep us up and just to keep calling us up and telling us, okay, but still, you have that fear because you don't know the kind of world you're going into. You don't
Exactly.
know the kind of
Absolutely.
people you're going to meet. You're going into a place wherein you're going to have people from all across the world with various age groups, people who are elder to you, people
Younger
who are coming
too.
from various walks of life.
Life.
So
Mhm.
therein, you have that fear in yourself, when you go there. But I think eventually, 2 days into it, we realized, I think we're absolutely good to go. We're the smartest of lot, and we don't have to worry about anything.
Nobody can bring us down.
One stereotype question,
I
as you said, which we were obviously expecting, and the moment I landed and people ask me, English is really good. How do you guys learn English? No English. So I was about to say that, while I was in the airport, while I was boarding my flight, I read the IELTS and I started giving exams and I started speaking to people on the flight and I learned English. Then I actually had to tell them that this is our native language and this is how we have learned okay English.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and hands down, there were people who were from all across the globe, from different walks of life, and it was very difficult for them, people from Hungary and people from Germany, the way they
Right.
spoke English and the way we spoke, was hell and heaven difference. So we, as Ackrity said, obviously we were the smartest of all, and the culture which we represented, in the international land, it
Hmm.
was it was impeccable. So the overall journey,
Absolutely.
when you tell me, I firstly have to thank NSHM for giving us this opportunity, and it's a lifetime
I
opportunity.
think Camp America
Absolutely.
program changed us all for good. I
Absolutely.
think we,
And I was getting to that, ma'am. I wanted to ask you, ma'am, what are some of the greatest skills and the learnings that you've had from this whole Camp America program? Please tell us a little bit about that.
I think the first thing, we were not that exposed. So I think for us,
Hmm.
that exposure that we got, it just
Hmm.
completely changes because
Absolutely.
we think students here, as students, everyone thinks, oh, watching movies, going out to malls, wearing the trendiest of clothes, and carrying the best of handbags. That's what the life is all about. But no, there's much more to life. So when you actually meet people from around the globe, and they have so many experiences to share. They all come from various walks of life. They all come from various backgrounds. There's so much to learn. It's such an eye opener when you actually go there. That's when you understand that you don't know it all. No one can know it all, and every single day was a learning. So I think you just develop yourself as a person. Those 3 months in US, I think it just changes you
Oh, it was
completely.
a 3 month program.
Yeah, and I think we just changed
Okay.
as individuals when we got back. We were much more smarter. I think we knew very well how to deal with our finances, because I think that was the first time we were being paid,
The
and
first
that's
taste
Always.
of independence, true
exactly.
independence away from home.
Imagine
Even
your
though you had your college with you, but still, you know,
and your first salary that you're getting, that is in dollars. So it was
wow.
I
That too in dollars.
yeah. And in fact, all of us who came back from US, we were suddenly rich. You know. So yeah, I
That
mean,
must have been great for a 18-year-old,
yeah,
like.
absolutely. And traveling, I mean, you travel the world, you get to see the world. I
Mhm.
think manage your finances, be independent, and that's a different kind of an independence altogether. But
Mhm.
if you're in India, you just like have things at a call away. Even if you're in Delhi or Bombay, you just have to call up your parents and say, "I
And
need."
you're also babied.
Yeah,
We're also
exactly,
babied by our family a lot. Even if they
exactly.
allow us to go away, go study, stay in a hostel and study there.
I'll share
Even
a
then,
very
like, you
I'll share
okay,
a very small
beta? Did you
experience
have
with
food?
you, which I think changed my life completely. So I think the video is paused. Hello, Aisha.
No, no, we can see you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think I'll share one small experience of mine. So that we had a weekend off, and like we had groups. We all used to have different days off. So I had a Monday off, and my group, I was the only Indian. I think I had two guys from France and one guy from Hungary. There was a girl from Israel, a girl from Wales, and like few more. I think we were 8, 9 of us, and we decided to go to Niagara Falls. So as you know,
Okay.
Niagara Falls is divided into two sides. There's a Canadian side and there's an American side, right? So what
Right.
happens is the major part of the Niagara Falls is in Canada and not in America.
Yes, yeah.
So there's a bridge that actually you have to cross to go that side, and you need to have a visa stamped on your passport. Now, unluckily, everyone who was with me, they were all of various passports. I was the only Indian passport, and back then there was some rule that Indians who went to Canada, they didn't come back. So the Canadian government, they did not give me a visa to go to Canada. So all my
Okay.
friends went to Canada for the weekend. They all decided to go to Toronto, and they were going to be there. And I was the only one stuck at Buffalo, and I didn't know what to do. Like I was just 18, and I'm like
My
across
God.
the world all alone. I didn't know what to do, and I still remember like I was sitting by the Niagara Falls on a bench, and I'm crying. I was like, I'm all
Terrified out of your mind.
yeah, I was completely out of my mind, and I called up my parents saying that I'm all alone for the weekend. How am I supposed to manage? It was a panic situation, and but then my father said it's all right. We keep traveling for work. Why can't you travel? Travel alone. It's just a matter of
How
2 days.
sweet.
Be there. So I think after a while, I kind of gathered guts and went and booked a motel and stayed there. And I kind of explored that place all alone, and I landed up making so many friends. And I think that was one experience which completely changed my life. I think uh, back then, meeting random people, going out at night, just talking to strangers. But I think you get to learn so much. And now I think if I, see that, and now I see myself, I think ready to face any situation. So, there are
Mm-hmm.
small experiences which
Yes,
completely
yes.
change you as a person.
I'll tell you one
Absolutely.
such thing. It's a bit personal, but it's a very beautiful thing that will stay throughout my mind because of Camp America and NSHM. So this is
Okay,
something
ma'am,
my mom
please.
shared with me as a comment when my mom and dad were talking. I was back in Calcutta from Camp America, and I think my mom and dad were talking over a evening chai session. My dad said to
Okay.
her, and just a few days after I returned, if my daughter can go and conquer the world and explore America, go to Amsterdam, change flights, do the
Mm-hmm.
boarding pass, be with thousands of Israelis and Kazakhstanis and Australians and New Zealanders from the American to the UK and come back safely with dollars in her hand as a first. I think she can do anything. And I think, and I'm sure, not only think, Akriti's parents, Vikas's parents, Eric, Agni, I'm just naming a few other friends, Mohit's parents, every parent would have said the same thing. If an 18-year-old boy and girl can do this, getting onto the right flight, right boarding
Yeah.
pass, right
Yeah.
time, you're in time difference and all, and I think you can do anything. You
Right.
can conquer
Absolutely.
and achieve anything. And this was only possible because of why. And SHM at that time, at least during our second batch, had some hundreds of students. Why did NSHM had to narrow down to the 10 or 15 or whatever, how many ever people were? Why did they
Mm-hmm.
just select? They did not. Why did they just select it? That means they did see something else and they just did not leave. Regular
Absolutely.
by our
And
phone.
thank you, big thank you to NSHM for this exposure too.
Oh,
And if
Absolutely.
big
ma'am's
thank
listening,
you.
and if
It's
ma'am's listening, ma'am, I still have a couple of months left in college before I go for internship, and I haven't been abroad. So if you're listening, so maybe we could go to.
oh, we were just a very lucky.
I think
I
I think
still
I
have
think
those.
it's really wrong timing, for you to pass out.
I know.
I know, ma'am.
Same here.
I
COVID.
absolutely,
I
ma'am. I
still have.
haven't. I just went to college for 2 years, and
Oh
then I'm sitting
God.
at home. Not even the entirety of 2 years.
I
And on that note, ma'am, I wanted to learn from you. What do you think is different in the current situation? Like I'm talking about the coursework as compared to what you had back then. How do you think it has changed, and do you think it has changed for the better
I
or
think,
worse?
see, I don't know if it's for better or bad, but I think with us initially, we had a lot of problems because with media, as I said, it was a new course. We didn't have proper textbooks. We didn't have, proper. Though our faculty went out of the way to kind of get us notes and tell us where we could find things, but we did have to face a lot of problems. But I think those problems also are, taught us to be kind of more smarter and find things and do things our way. Because if you get everything very handy, I think it just makes you a lazy ass. Um, yeah, I think, see, digitalization, I would say it has its pros and cons. Again, because back then we were not that digital.
Yes.
Our digitalization was only restricted to maybe
Google.
We have it really easy. So sometimes, as ma'am said,
Facebook also, I remember when we went to US, that's when we actually
Exactly.
got
That's
into
right.
India started Facebooking.
had not come into India that time. Facebook was very new.
Just started.
My first account was in the United States.
In
You
US,
used to
yeah.
open-
Yes, that's because of Camp America.
Yeah. Pre-Camp America, we were all Orkut users, and then we completely shifted to Facebook and then told our friends about Facebook.
yes,
So, back then our kind of education was going to libraries, finding out books, going googling data, trying to find out acha tere ko kya mila, let's exchange notes. And used to be like taking tons and tons of printouts, and then those group discussions, sitting together. So that if you remember those dal makhani and sessions at my place, we used to have big GD, like we used to have 12, 13
Wow.
people sitting together and studying and discussing. I think that is missing right now. So I think kahin na kahin digitalization has really impacted that culture, which I think is bad. Because you can't do everything digitally. You do need to sit down physically. Obviously, there was a fun factor to it also. If we sat down for 5 hours, maybe we would study for 3 hours and do masti for 2 hours. But
Okay.
it has its own charm.
I'll tell you how just to support on Akriti's point. I don't know if I'm sure it has. We used to have running notes. We used to write. So different people will write for different things. We will miss out on something. What do we end up doing? We were just on Google, and everybody didn't have laptop at that time. Let me just tell you that. Number two, mobile data was not that easily available. Number two, expensive. We
You
used
should have 1 GB for 1 month.
correct. They used
So
to
that Ackrity, sorry, it was GTA then.
Can't even
We are
begin to
not
wrap
forging
my head
anything.
around that right now.
And
was
we used to manage entire 1 month, 30 days with 1 GB data.
GB
And-
data.
Yeah.
Number two, in some corner of NSHM ground floor, dead end right, one corner was Xerox place, and the queue.
We
and the
still have a
queue
Xerox
was
place.
So much from
We
supply
still have a
chain to
Xerox
data
place.
science to management to everybody, and that guy used to never do it on time because people used to give him books and books and books to get Xerox. Because A, some people cannot afford it. B, library books, because it goes round and round. By the time it comes to it, it's already bloody semester exams. So we used to queue up. That is something, now everything is available digitally. While it is good, but
Absolutely.
you miss books.
It is also,
Yeah.
You miss the running.
We miss books, and
handwriting.
also because we get everything, prepared for us. We just need to, like, the food is prepared. You just need to swallow it, so it makes us
That's
lazy.
it.
Yeah,
Really.
I see.
Exactly.
So my cousin brother, he's studying in Amity and he's doing media now. And he randomly comes to me with these assignments. And like for me, I think I just kind of tell him things like this, and he's like, "How do you even know this stuff? Like I've never even seen a book, and how do you even know this stuff?" We know this stuff because we used to get a hands-on experience over there. We used to sit and
Exactly.
discuss. We used to like kind of find notes. We used to work hard on it. I think that's the reason we still remember stuff and things.
And Akriti, I'll tell you something. Just
work hard on it,
And I'll tell you something, Akriti, you'll find it very nostalgic. Just last Diwali, I was Diwali cleaning my place, and I found this big carton of NSHM notes, handwritten by me, blue and red and underlined, and the highlighter notes.
Highlights. We used to highlight.
Oh my God, I used to write the question in red, answer in blue, highlight the important part, and Xerox. I don't know how much Xerox. I still have kept them. I was just this Diwali I did by cleaning and I found all those notes.
In fact,
So
if I
that's the
feel that
important.
And
focus studying completely digitally, I think I would fall asleep half the time.
I will. 110% I will.
I
So
agree, ma'am. I personally feel like it was better back then because we really had to put in our effort. And on that note, because we are talking about our, the experiences, your experiences when you were in college, and this I wanted to ask Sir this. So personally, what I love best about NSHM is that they give us plenty of opportunities to showcase our talents, and they send us out to participate in various inter college
Blitz,
fests.
Hmm.
Yes, yes.
IIT Kharagpur's and the blitz that we have experienced
Guys,
became a
I'm
cinema.
holding,
Kharagpur.
I'm holding this in my hand. I spoke to Saujanya ma'am. I said I'm going to show this
Oh wow!
entire
I
family
wanted
economic certificate. Okay,
I
I'm first.
wanted to ask you that, sir. Like, see,
Uh,
so sir, could you please like talk to us a little bit about your experiences with extracurricular activities? What did you do? Did you participate in fests? What was
okay.
your favorite things to do when in terms of exploring your talents and creativity? So,
Anybody who knows me in NSHM, they know me for one reason. Okay, so
mm-hmm,
there was a selection that was going on for for the fest. Okay,
Nice.
so we had a senior called Matthew and Abhiram. May those soul rest in peace. Abhiram is no more with us, and Abhiram, Matthew, Lucky, and Shrey, and the seniors were having these panels. We were supposed to
mm-hmm.
dance. Okay, and
Yes,
it was lively
ma'am
that
was telling me about you being a dancer. Yes.
I participated, and there was a lot of us from the media and the the pharmacy sector, from management. Everybody was even I danced, and there was a round of applause. And suddenly at the end, so Matthew turned up and asked, is there anybody still left with the audition? I said I am, and he's
Mm-hmm.
like, you just danced, okay? And I'm like, no, I want to do something different. So he's like, what? So I went up on the stage and I said, okay, girls, I love the way you guys, the girls, gals have done. But something I believe is still missing. And, when you say a feminine dance, okay, you talk more from here. So I was the one who stood up, who had this audacity to go on stage, dance as an Aishwarya Rai on Kajrare, and with
Oh
my
wow!
I was known as the Kajrare boy in NSHM rather than my name. Okay. And that is
Wow!
how we started. Okay. And all the events, name it. So why do I say, I am more of a BMIS, a BIMS
I
guy
was
than
about to say that. That's the reason he said he used to be more with the media guys, media folks, than the BBA people. In
So
fact,
this
it
started
really
it all.
happened. Suddenly a faculty would walk in and say, Vikas, what are you doing here? Are you a
Mm.
participant?
I remember that.
Oh wow!
Apart from that, even they are the ones who actually, as I told you, I want to do something with management as well as in media. So MBA
Mm-hmm.
Media Entertainment, I imbibed that management from the BBA as the media entertainment from the BIMS student. So I had a mixture of both. I knew that I'm going to carry this. So and trust me, it was not boring. So I'm obviously when I, used to sit with them. So half of them, I was the only BBA student along sitting with them, Kritika, Ackrity, Eric, Agni, and they were all talking about their own lectures. So half of the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge I've already got from them. Okay, media, I had this. So going back to your question, so before even getting back to the question of participation in
Mm-hmm.
extracurricular activities, I would like to say something about the digital arena, the digital world now. And आकृति मेरे
Mm-hmm.
पेट पे लात मत मारो यार मैं डिजिटल का हूँ अभी so obviously, as people are saying that yeah, there are pros and cons, and the most important thing which we are missing is the human touch. Um, Everything cannot be digitized. Okay, everything cannot be digital. But
Mm-hmm.
this is an evolution. This is a revolution in its own. Okay, people are adopting and adapting technology like no one else. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, there is obviously, as I said, the human touch is missing, but it is getting us closer to the possibilities, right?
Ah,
So
true enough.
you
And
know,
also, it's the need of the hour right now, so we have to do it anyway
how many
because we
of
are in the midst of a
y'all,
pandemic.
even if the the so-called theaters open up, how many y'all will be actually loyal to going to theaters rather than watching your binge watching on Netflix on a Hotstar, right? So your availability of people now, as Sudha used to tell, we used to write, take down notes. So even I have all my notes handy with me, stacked up in my cupboard, and nobody's allowed to touch that. Today, when you Google it, you have everything. Okay. So there are possibilities have increased many folds. There are definitely, I think, you should be imbibing this. You should be embracing this digital arena, because back then we did not have this facility. So, as you said, you guys have gone college for 2 years. I've seen people who've joined during the pandemic on
Yeah,
20,
that's sad.
and I don't even know whether they'll be going to college ever or not. Okay, but there is some way, they have, like Camp America has given us an opportunity and made us more mature. Okay, so
Mhm.
this digitization, this digital arena, this pandemic has obviously given you guys an opportunity to stand apart. Okay.
Absolutely.
You already when you go for an interview, you know what you're doing with Microsoft. Okay. You already know how presentations are done. That and these and we're
Right.
not making notes. Okay. You're already working in Excel. You're taking Zoom. You're doing conferencing. So the connection between the connection how digital has got us closer is nothing like that. So for me, yes, a new digital arena, new age, please imbibe that, learn from it, and there's a lot coming up. Okay, I am from this background. I'm telling you, there's a lot coming up. Amazon buying shares, and you guys are going to love it. Okay, and
Mhm.
obviously there will be a time when human will be replaced by robots. So enjoy. That's the call.
I don't
Okay.
believe that, sir.
and
But
and
yes.
what we are all talking is just 10 years before. We just passed
Yeah,
out like a decade.
actually, there's a
Yeah,
That's
fast
I
just
track.
Yeah.
this 10 years. It's not some
Exactly. I mean,
gazillion
it boggles the mind to think it's just been 10 years and
from
we've
Like
come
previously,
this
handwritten
far.
imagine we
notes.
used to manage one entire month with 1 GB data, and now if you
Yes,
think
Yeah,
about
I cannot,
that's my
it,
I cannot imagine that, ma'am.
we
and
don't
no.
even like we
By the way,
saw
no
1 GB
Facebook,
in maybe a couple of minutes. So
and no
we
Facebook, no Insta at that time. If you had to hang out, we used to go to this opposite. I don't know if the Behala Coffee House.
coffee
I
house,
have to
yeah.
mention that.
yeah.
I had to mention that. That was our
This
social life.
feels great
Behala
listening to your
Coffee House.
stories.
Our social life was getting prepped for the events. Our social life was being preparing
Yeah, and
for
especially getting together
Uh,
during those
ma'am,
college fests, like spring fests and
yes,
things like
yes.
that. I think it was so
blitz.
much fun. We all used to get together and practice for these theaters and these debates and things
And
like
people
that.
who
And I think,
didn't have a part, they used to bunk with us saying, "We are doing moral support."
yeah,
Obviously,
moral
that was
support.
a
Yeah.
social
And
life.
guys, one
Good that
thing
you
you guys,
mentioned about events. So I'm just interrupting you for a second there because I really want to see your file. Could you please show us your
yeah,
certificates, the various events that you
absolutely,
participated in,
absolutely,
uh,
absolutely.
representing in
Show
NSHM.
off.
Yeah.
Because show off. Stop
I mean,
it.
my head is stuck there. So,
Just give me a second.
Yeah,
I
put it
should.
up on Instagram. You can stalk him on me.
Yeah.
oh, wow.
So this is first. I believe you guys can see this is a
Mhm.
orientation program which was obviously from NSHM. This is from
Mhm.
Miami Naked College, Florida. Okay, and then this is again career quotient, which is from NSHM. Now let's go to some
Yeah.
in the college. So this is IIAF. If you see Vikash Rao T-shirt
Yes.
painting, first
Yes,
prize
we do
here,
see it.
and
Wow.
then we have 1 minute to fame. In this 1 minute to fame, guys, I did a belly dancing. I did Maya Maya, and I won first prize here.
Oh, yeah.
I,
Oh,
I
what?
had nothing to. There was Agni. He was Agni and Eric was the college coordinator then, and he was like, "Okay, guys, we have to do something. We have to participate." So he threw me Shruti Anand's skirt, and she's like, "Get up on the stage and do something."
Yeah, you literally
And
wore a skirt. Yeah.
I wore a skirt, and I did Maya Maya, and I won the first prize. So obviously, yeah, I love this. Then we have International School of Business and Media. There again, I participated in the skit competition again with the media students, and I won this. International School of Business Media fashion show. Yes, I remember
So
participating.
all of these achievements are you representing NSHM, right?
Yes, all of this. Entire file is NSHM file. Yeah. This
Hmm.
entire file.
And that is really impressive, sir. That is absolutely amazing. He has, guys. You guys, I know you can see it, but I'll just repeat it once more. Sir's got this thick file and it's filled with certificates. All of him, he's represented NSHM at various activities, intra college, and he's got them. So you might want to participate, come out of your shells and just
By the
go
way,
ahead and participate in
people who
various things.
think that extracurriculars are a waste of time, when you
Huh?
actually
And
go for
they
interviews
are
for
not.
higher
They are not.
colleges, and no, I mean there are a lot of people who just like to study, and they would say, "Oh, extracurriculars is quite a waste of time." You
Mhm.
guys need to buck up because that gives you an edge over others. Because even if you're getting a 90 and you're competing with 20 people who are with the 90s, the only thing that's going to give you an edge over others are your extracurricular activities. Because back then when I went to Simbi, I remember, so my file is equally thick as Vikas's, and I think that's exactly where I got an edge over others, because my extracurricular file was so thick. The people who were interviewing me, they said, "Did you even study in college, or you just did extracurricular activities?"
Oh, ask me about it. Same here. Same here.
Mhm.
Because,
So, ma'am, ma'am, because I just wanted to ask you this because we don't really have much time. So, ma'am, I know that we all know by now that you have your own your own firm, really. So, ma'am, could you please tell us a little bit about what really inspired you to become your own boss, and some tips that maybe you would like to share with our students who are looking forward to, maybe one day follow your footsteps and have a company of their own. So, please, ma'am.
see, the first thing, you got to be a risk taker, because there's
Mm-hmm.
something you're putting at stake. It might work out, it might not work out, and
Mm-hmm.
failure is always the first step to success. Remember that. I mean, eventually, when uh, you want to get into the entrepreneurial journey, you need to be ready for all the ups and downs. And when you're working in an organization, even then, you'll get boss ka gali, you'll get to listen to 20 things, but you're still at a slightly safeguarded environment. When you
Mm-hmm.
become an entrepreneur, there's no one to tell you anything. It's your own decision. You learn with
Absolutely.
your own mistakes. Every
Mm-hmm.
single day is going to be a different learning. Every single day is going to be a new chapter. Every single day is going to be a new learning. So you need to be prepared that tomorrow is going to be a new day. You can't
Mm-hmm.
really, you can't prepare yourself every day of what's going to happen next. You have to be ready to take that risk, and you got to move on. And of course, you have to be passionate, because if you're not passionate about something, you cannot really pursue that. You need to be forgetting the entire world. See, people say that being your own boss. Oh, you're so lucky. You have flexible hours. You don't have to report to anybody. It's bullshit. When you're actually your own boss, you are responsible for hundreds of people who are working under you. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
available 24.
Exactly.
You
I
have
mean, the responsibilities get doubled up the way I see it.
it becomes 10
You
times
get
over.
the freedom, you have your own hours, you are your own boss, but then again, you have to work 10 times as hard as you would
Absolutely,
under somebody
absolutely.
else.
So yeah, and
Absolutely,
you have
ma'am.
to be street smart. I think because when you're an entrepreneur, you come across different situations, and I think not only studies can teach you how to deal with those different situations. You
Correct.
got to be street
Hmm.
smart. So
So
yeah,
Absolutely.
I would like to add on to one point. So as we were
Sure, sir,
talking
sure.
about
Please.
the digital arena now, the digital era. Okay, see guys,
Hmm.
you have so much of exposure. When you're passing out, when we were passing out, obviously we had this extracurricular activities, we had these notes. But today, I believe you guys are one step ahead because there are so many possibilities. You have courses like an academy, and you have there are so many online applications that is there. Okay, information is right there for you. Okay, so when you
Okay.
are passing out, when you pass out and when you go and face the cruel world, make sure this is
Hmm.
the time for you to start preparing yourself. Okay, uh, obviously we did the masters, and trust me, world was not as uh, angel that we were thinking about. It was not angelic. It was cruel. My first
Hmm.
job, I remember, okay, when I joined as a marketing trainee there was an international documentary called Fire in Babylon. It's a very
Okay.
renowned documentary. Please see that. It's about the West Indies cricket players, because back then it was the documentary of 80s. Back then they did not even have bats, cricket bats, and the artifacts to even participate in the World Cup
Hmm.
and how they evolved. Okay, So I was the
Mm-hmm.
marketing trainee. So I was like, I went in all suits and boots, and because I knew that I'm now a management student and I can go there. The first
Mm-hmm.
the first task I got was, so before that, sorry, before that, I did my internships from CNBC and CNIBN, and that was in Mumbai, which was in the town. So back then, obviously, dad ka paisa tha, so I used to stay in Andheri, take an auto, go to Bandra. From Bandra, I used to take a cab and I used to go there. Okay, and the
Mm-hmm.
lifeline is locals in Mumbai, and I was like, hell no, I'm not going to never go to travel in locals there. And when I started my first job, obviously the ego now, okay, I'm my first job. I'm not going to take a single penny from my dad. And the first task I got was a poster was given to me of the film. I was asked to go and deliver the poster in the town to one of the theater. And the mandate was, irrespective of whatever happens to you, the poster should not get crushed. And he handed me
Okay.
22 buck, 6 rupees up and down, and then the auto fare. He's like, this is your fare. Go and be there at this particular time. And I missed
Wow.
7 trains, fearing that, oh my God, it's rushed, it's packed. How do I even get into that? I was not expecting. But I still managed to get into it. I remember I broke my glasses and I walked through I reached the town and I delivered the poster. So that is an achievement for me. Okay, I never did that, and that is I can proudly tell my kid if God, if God allows, if I ever have, I can proudly say I started from scratch. So it is very important for you guys to start preparing for now. Things are not going to be easy outside. Okay,
Absolutely.
so when you're getting this,
Mm-hmm.
the best thing about NSHM is that nobody is spoon fed. Okay, and I love this.
Absolutely.
Nobody was spoon fed. You have to be the risk taker. You have to be the flagship bearer, and you have to go there, face the world. Okay. So all these certificates, gaining these certificates was not easy. That time we did not have auditorium. We had to push the benches in the classroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beg, all the staff members kindly allow us, kindly give us time. So we used to be there in college till 8, 9 o'clock. And our task was once you finish your practice, you have to you have to send the bench back again. Okay. So
For the
that
next
was
day
it.
class.
I think every little thing
Wow.
was learning, when you actually, 10 years down the lane, when you are actually in the corporate world, you guys will understand that every little thing has taught you something or the other and will have
Okay.
some or the other significance in your life. Everything,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, sir and ma'am. Those were really valuable insights. Also, on that note, we have a question from somebody. They did not reveal their name. I would like to ask any message or like pro tips for the freshers. Sir has already answered that partially. I would like to add on to that and ask Shudha ma'am the same question, ma'am. Some, please give us some pro tips for the freshers. And also, ma'am, could you please tell us a little bit about, you know, uh, how can we make ourselves like work on ourselves to make ourselves better so that we can ultimately become the best versions of us. Also, what can we do to improve our situation, uh, how to excel post pandemic in terms of academics and career. So ma'am, could you please give us a few tips on that?
Sure. So your question had two parts. How can you be the best
Mm-hmm.
version? I'll answer that first. The answer lies in your own question, and answer is you.
Kudos, kudos.
We, Akriti, Vikas, are the best versions of ourselves because
Touche.
we took that risk. You can name it as a risk. We took that
Absolutely, right from the start.
giant step, whether we get selected or not, but we gave it a shot. Try.
Mm-hmm.
Akriti is
Mm-hmm.
an entrepreneur today because she knew she will fail. She knew she will get up because she knew what she had to do with yourself. Do not do
Absolutely.
not let anybody bog you down. Be it fresher. Just because do not let anybody tell you that you're not made cut for this. You
Mm-hmm.
are the best version of you think you can make it, do it. If you're scared of you have a stage fright, might as well go and experience what it is. For all you know, you were just very worried
Just
about
get over it.
nothing. You were worried about nothing. It was as simple as walk in the park. As
Mm-hmm.
easier said than done, I'm sure, because me, Akriti, Vikas have come on, wearing a skirt, doing Maya Maya on the stage to win a first. It's not easy. You think Vikas did not have the stage fright? Do you think Vikas was not worried about people when he walks past those contestants after his performance? What will people say? All of us had that. But the one thing that we had was, this is what I like, this is what I love, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Only
going to do
you
it for
can
my
fight
own
for what you love.
happiness. Today, Akriti is an events person. She likes doing what she wants. She's happy. He is happy. Vikas is happy doing what he is. He's happy. I like doing PR. I love doing corporate PR, meeting people.
I
I'm
would like to
happy.
add on to something here. So what we usually do
Sure,
is
ma'am.
people in college, there's a peer pressure that okay, she's doing this or he's doing this and he's a good student, so he must be right. What is right for him might not be right for you.
Right for you.
So you need to decide for
Absolutely.
yourselves that what you are cut out for. Only you know that. Nobody else knows that. So never
Yes.
follow somebody else's footsteps and do what you want to do.
Want to do. And number two,
Absolutely.
one of the biggest thing, it can be, it's not because be it COVID, non-COVID, be you are a media student, you can be a management student, you can be a computer science student, you can be an ophthalmology student, whoever. The one
Mhm.
thing that is common across every industry, actually two things, every industry. A, do not be afraid of communicating.
Absolutely.
Communicate, talk. You're sad, talk. You're happy, talk. You're not happy, talk. Talk your business ideas. Do not be afraid. क्या होगा ज़्यादा से? What will happen? People will agree to you or disagree to you, but at least you have
Right.
spoken out. Right? Number two, networking is also very important.
Very,
Do
very important.
not shy away. Make friends. In college life, in freshers term, make friends. Do not just stick to your classmates or your next benchers or just to a group of girls or a group of boys. Today what Vikas said, that he used to hang out with media people because he wanted to. We hung out with our
Right.
seniors, Abhiram and Matthew and Indra Mohan. I remember my media
I
guys.
think these were batches which bonded with all, like
All
all
the
students,
batches.
all
Somebody
the
add that, Radha, yes.
I think we were the one batch which were connected with everybody in the college.
And I'll tell you this one thing, and I think Saujanya ma'am will back this up, okay? And
Hmm.
I used to live in the NSHM hostel. They used to
Mhm.
tell in Hindi, यार ये BMS और BBA वालों को तो पढ़ाई लिखाई नहीं होता है क्या? जब देखो
एकदम
फोन
नहीं होता है।
रहता है.
But
Because
that
they're in the
networking
canteen
has really helped, even especially when you
has
talk about
really helped.
entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, one of the key skills of entrepreneurship is networking. And all
Right.
your network is like you'll get to know this maybe 10 years down the lane
Down the
that
line. I
yes,
agree.
that the how important that networking is.
Is tomorrow if
One
I didn't
point I
get
would like to add on. Sorry,
Mhm.
one point. Please take your rejections as your badges. Okay.
that,
You will be your ideas will be rejected. Okay. Do not fall for your own ego. Do not fall for your depression or anxiety, because this opportunity which tells you, you have to work on yourself. So when you said how can you be a better version of you, is upgrading yourself every day, every second, every minute. And as Sudha rightly said, networking, and we did not have LinkedIn then too. If we had LinkedIn then obviously
Yeah.
things would have
and
been
what
very
we
different.
did was not networking. We just did friendships.
Yes,
Today
we were
coined as the term networking.
exactly.
What we did was friendships.
And that's
Now,
the
Absolutely.
thing,
back
I
then, we didn't even know what networking was all about.
Networking was.
Right
yeah,
now, we understand, so I think we can guide you. We didn't have seniors to guide us or tell us how the industry is and
Or
how to
CLC
cope up with things,
conversations.
or these conversations we had back then. I wish we had sessions like this wherein we could interact with seniors and people from the industry, so that we had a better knowledge of things before getting into the serious world. College is a fun world. College is not serious
Have
world.
fun. Have
So,
fun.
Absolutely.
so
And
that
and just to sum it all up, just to sum it all up, the way I see it, the major points that I take from you, and because we got a question, what should we do? The tips for us. So, guys, even the viewers watching this, the students really, uh, think for yourself. Don't let others, compare you, because you are you and nobody can really make your future. So think for yourself. Secondly, don't be scared of communicating. Make friends. Networking, that will help you go a long way in life. Thirdly, be brave. I think that should come first. Take risks. I mean, it might just happen. You'll be 80 and then you'll be like wondering, oh my god, I should have done it, I could have done it, I should have taken that chance. Don't be that way. I mean, if you want to do it, go ahead. This is the best opportunity, because tomorrow it'll be another day, fine, but this is the best moment to really go for it. Okay. And finally, try to stand out, especially pertaining to us, because we are going through a pandemic right now. We have a lot of time on our hands, so sit at home, try to do courses, get certificates, try to stand out, um, try to make your CV better than five other people. So that is what I learned from you, and thank you so much. This was a very, very fun and insightful session, and I absolutely loved it. I see something in the chat box. Okay, that's fine. So, because guys, I know this is the worst part, and because we really need to wrap up right now. So, this is the part that I absolutely do not like. But we have neared the end of today's episode of CLC Conversations. I
Patient.
hope, yes, I hope everybody,
I would take 10, sorry, I would just take 10 seconds, my last thing.
please, sir, please, sir.
All the students who have kept yourself on mute and probably you've gone and taken a break in between the conversation, yeah, we do that. Okay, so we have been there in the
Mhm.
shoes. We know what's happening. Most of you must be live. Most of you must be here. So like, let's do. Your laptop must be on. Because you're on mute, you must be doing Netflix. I agree. Okay, it's time. Go enjoy yourself. It's obviously it's time to be time to have fun. But again, as I rightly said, start
Mhm.
taking risks, upgrade yourself. It's not just about standing out. It's just about accepting yourself. Okay, down the lane, 5 years or 10 years, you should not be I missed that opportunity. Don't ever let that
Exactly.
happen. You
Exactly.
have this opportunity right now. You have time right now. Utilize it.
Mhm.
And there is, as I said, information is right there in front of you. There are free
Absolutely.
live
And
webinars. There are
uh,
free live webinars that is going on. Be on LinkedIn, be on Facebook. If you are a social media buff, you pay to get on YouTube. You pay to get on TikTok. You pay to get on. So many, you can be an influencer. So the world is no more like, okay, you have to be a management student or you have to be an engineer. You have to be a doctor. You can be anything
Absolutely.
and still
and
I
be there
agree.
if
where
there's
people
any way we can help, or you guys can,
really,
Yes, I was about
please
to
yeah.
say
feel
that.
free to reach out to us. We'll be
Saujanya
more
ma'am
than
has our
happy
email
to
ID.
kind of we can shoot our email IDs to you guys, so you guys can feel free to shoot your questions, and if there's any way we can help you
Help
out,
you. Correct.
we'll be happy to
This
do
is a
that.
golden opportunity for everybody watching, especially the new students. Guys, you won't get an opportunity like this ever again. So if you have any questions you would want personally answered by our guests today, please feel free to ask them. We will send you the email IDs if you want to talk to them. So you can definitely have a talk with Georgiana ma'am, and or you can always have a talk with me. So there's that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aishi, for such a
Thank you.
lovely
I
Thank
session. And thank you, Saujanya ma'am. We absolutely enjoyed the session. And thanks, NSHM, for
We demand a reunion. We demand a
yeah,
reunion.
Saujanya ma'am, a reunion is long pending now. Long,
yeah,
long
I think we
pending.
need to do that. And not
Yes.
digitally, Vikas.
Not
We need
Yes.
to
digitally.
do it
No. Physically, we have to go to
oh,
Bihala Coffee House. We have to have the
And if
pakoda
Saujanya,
at the camp.
if Saujanya ma'am does not do it, we are gonna just be our bunch of whatever
mhm.
atrocities that we used to do, just land up in NSSM and
Absolutely.
that's it.
I'm at that.
Gone.
I am
Absolutely.
sure
Gone.
ma'am is listening to this right now. So, ma'am, please, please, please.
Definitely.
Yes. So, thank you so much, dear guests,
Thank
for giving us this time, and we would love to
thank
have you
you.
again in the future someday soon. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Take
Sure.
care. Bye-bye. Bye.
So,
Bye,
Bye.
Bye.
everybody.
bye-bye.
Be
So I
safe.
hope everybody watching this today had as much fun as I did communicating with and learning from our guests. We keep getting emails from many students who are interested to be a part of this program, and we have had people from all the different portals so far. The rest of you still waiting. Please do not fret. We will return very soon, and we have invited some amazing guests for you to have a chat with in this year. Last but not the least, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude towards the NSHM Center for Language and Communication, CLC, for being an absolute lifesaver during these difficult times and for giving us this wonderful opportunity to interact with our peers and our esteemed guests. And of course, finally, our lovely viewers for all the support always. I am Oishi Pal from Bachelor of Optometry, NSHM Knowledge Campus, Kolkata. Stay healthy, have fun, and always
Bye-bye.
remember that to live in the moment, give your best, because if not, guys, a year from now, you will wish you had started today. So stay safe. Thank you and see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.